Hi, welcome. My name's Tamara Bish, and today I'm going to teach you a little bit about moving to Sacramento. Sacramento is really a large region. We encompass primarily three counties: Sacramento County, El Dorado County, and Placer County. Often, when buyers are looking in Sacramento, they're moving between those different counties pretty seamlessly. One of the main reasons that people typically are attracted to Sacramento is that relative to other areas in California, Sacramento feels very affordable. The Bay Area is actually a really big jumping off place for people moving to Sacramento. We get a lot of transplants from the Bay Area, and the reason is relative cost. So, in Contra Costa County, the average home sale in 2025 was about 720,000. In comparison, in Sacramento County in 2025, the average home sale was 535,000. So you can see right there, right out the gates, we've got a decrease in initial housing costs. Obviously, it's not 720 or 535 for every house, but if you're familiar with those areas, it'll help you get a relative idea of, okay, 720 will get me this in Contra Costa County. Imagine what $200,000 more would get me than the average home in Sacramento County. So that's in terms of cost of homes. When we're talking about cost of living, it can be a little tricky to nail down because it has a lot to do with your lifestyle, your career, like what your life entails. There are lots of online metrics that you can use for your industry to get an idea of what average salary would look like or average household spending might look like. So if you need more of that, come find me, send me a message. Okay, so that's cost. The second reason that people choose this region, number one, we have costs. I need a darker pen. Number two, we have location. The reason that this location is so attractive to people is because of our vicinity to the mountains, to Amador wine country, to Napa wine country, to the Bay Area, and to San Francisco. So, for people who like to access a lot of different things, we are really centrally located where you can get to the mountains, you can get to Lake Tahoe just as fast as you can get to San Francisco without a ton of traffic. It typically ranges from an hour and a half to 2.5 hours. It can get a lot more on a really heavy snow weekend if you've got a skier in your life and they really want to go during ski season. But anyway, that gives you a little bit of location and why this area is so attractive to people. The third reason that I'm going to share is culture. So, obviously, culture can be hard to speak to. As real estate agents, we have to be careful about the language we use. And I do want to be sensitive to that. But I think it's really easy to talk about larger culture and to get really personal about it. My family moved to Sacramento about 15 years ago from Los Angeles County. I grew up in the Bay Area. My husband grew up in Santa Barbara. So we've experienced some different areas in California. And what we really liked about Sacramento, I find to be very true of most of the buyers that I work with. In general, it's just a slower pace of life, which is really attractive. For some people, that slower pace comes from being able to work less because of the affordability factor. For some people who maybe work in the Bay Area, it has to do with leveraging in a remote work environment where you're not spending as much time commuting. That slower pace of life is also really attractive for people who are really into the outdoors. We've got the American River Parkway, we've got the foothills, we're not that far from the mountains. Outdoor enthusiasts who like to go skiing, rock climbing, mountain biking, rafting. This is a really attractive area. It has a lot to offer. Culture tends to be a little bit slower pace of life, very outdoorsy, and I will say Sacramento is pretty diverse. There's really something for everybody here. Okay, so why not Sacramento? Is there anything you're not telling us, Tamara? So I will say this: we get real hot and it starts heating up around May, and it sometimes doesn't cool down until almost October. We can get into the triple digits for chunks of time during the summer season, and it's hot. I love it personally. We spend a lot of time on the lake paddleboarding. My kids are in aquatics, they're in the pool all summer long. There's ways to deal with it, but if you're not used to the heat, it can be a bit of a shocker. The other thing that people ask about a lot is what about like the urban center? And I will say this: Sacramento is really known for its suburban neighborhoods. When you talk to people about moving to Sacramento, they're going to talk to you a lot about Roseville, El Dorado Hills, Folsom, Natomas, areas where you've got newer housing or big houses with yards that feels affordable. There are beautiful homes and beautiful neighborhoods as you get closer to the urban center. And if you can afford those areas and you want that connection to like the nightlife and the museums and the arts, it's there and it's building. Sacramento has a great development plan. So, more on that if you want it, poke me. But when we're talking about the surrounding suburban area, the great thing is you can get there. It's not very far. I can hop in an Uber on a Tuesday night and I can be in Sacramento in 30 minutes. I can also drive to San Francisco and do extras there as well. If you were considering the Sacramento region and want a little bit more information about what we have to offer, I would love to answer your questions and help you get started. The thing about Sacramento is it's not whether or not it's a good fit for you, it's finding the community that suits your lifestyle. So give me a call. I know we've got something for you here.